Hello, 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 everybody. I am Grum, coach and general manager of the Philadelphia T-Tars. If this is your first time meeting me, welcome. It is good to have you, and I am very excited to be a part of the BBR D-League for its second season. Very excited. There are 16 teams, and I made the cut. Very happy to do so. Now, the BBR D-League is the D-League to the Rejects Battle Royale League, a league that has featured some of the best that do it in this genre, and I am hoping to become one of them. You can expect uploads every Saturday throughout the season for the 8 weeks, and hopefully we make the playoffs. We were at the end of the draft with pick number 16, the first time I've ever had a wheel pick. I've been close to the wheel, I have been towards the end of a draft, but the absolute wheel pick for my first time, meaning that I have pick 16 and 17 and do not pick for another 30 picks. It was a big experience of just ignoring the draft after a pick until 20 picks later and seeing what was left over. But you know me, I've always kind of wanted to do the mixed weather team. A little bit of sun, a little bit of rain, and the Pokemon that allows me to do so is Walking Wake. And with our first pick, we selected Walking Wake. Walking Wake is a fantastically created Pokemon. This is just a very fun Pokemon that I wanted to try, especially on Wi-Fi, as I think it is one of the better designed Paradox Pokemons. A special attacker with good speed and solid bulk with a great defensive typing. Walking Wake was easily going to be one of the first picks on the wheel, as it can go with either the sun or the rain, or just be a good Pokemon on its own if I decided not to go with either direction. I was left with the decision to go with, though, what to pair Walking Wake with. Do I pair the dragon typing with a steel or fairy type? Or do I pair the water type with a fire or grass type? Or do I look to complement the special attacking with the physical attacking? Or maybe a defensive Pokemon? And then I saw it. The biggest funny button potential in the game. And that's when I made the decision on the team that I would draft. With the first pick in the second round, we went with the Gen 9 legendary Chi-Yu. We double up on special attack threats with solid speed, and maybe get one of the best overall special attackers, if not the best in the game, with Chi-Yu. A fire dark type that has the Beads of Ruin ability that lowers all other Pokemon's special defense by 25%. Combine that with its base 135 special attack, and suddenly nothing is safe. It also does have a solid 120 base special defense just for the hell of it, but I don't think it's that relevant to what Chi-Yu is going to do for us, but it is pretty friggin' cool. I'm going to really enjoy using this Pokemon. Flamethrower is very strong, Fire Blast from it are insane, Overheats from it, absolutely bonkers. That's the funny button we're talking about. Dark Pulse is also very good. So after about 25 picks or so, I started to look at what I could use, and after going top heavy with special attackers, I was in need of some physical attackers. And I decided to get a physical attacker and finish my Water, Fire, Grass core with the same pick. As our third pick of the BBR D-League Season 2 draft is none other than Ogerpon Cornerstone. Of all the Ogerpon forms, I feel like Cornerstone gets overlooked a lot as it's weak to fighting, neutral to ground and water. Its ability sturdy leaves a bit to desired compared to its other Ogerpon forms. I think Cornerstone's Ivy Cudgel, in my opinion, is the best Ivy Cudgel, as it's a base 90, 100% accurate rock move with a high chance of critical hit. Now, not being able to hold an item is unfortunate, but I will take that, though, getting a strong and fast physical attack with a diverse moveset. It is, however, a shame running Power Whip or Horn Leech instead of, say, Solar Blade as a physical grass move, unless... That's right, praise the sun, perhaps a little early in the draft to pick a weather setter. But that is what happens when you have 30 picks between you and your next pick. But Grum, why Ninetales? Why not Torkoal? Because I'm about the speed this season, baby. Ninetales also offers a bit more offensive pressure with its speed, but I feel like it's able to help out more than Torkoal, as Torkoal is very reliant on its physical defense to be kept around. Sure, it has Rapid Spin and Stealth Rock, but Ninetales has access to Nasty Plot, Calm Mind, and good coverage moves like Extra Sensory, Dark Pulse, and Energy Ball. Ninetales can stand as a special attacker if needed, plus it does have access to Baton Pass, which I'd love a good amount. This gives us 3 out of our first 4 picks having a momentum move. In the time between our 4th and 5th picks, the rest of the league started drafting Tera captains, like Glastrier, Hisuian Electrode, and that's why we ended up taking what I considered one of the best Tera captains in the league, Hoopa. The Ghost Psychic Mythical is backing a whopping 150 special attack stat, and a reasonable 70 base speed with 2 quad weaknesses to Dark and Ghosto and a measly 60 base defense, I understand why other people didn't want to take this. But those can be mitigated thanks to it being able to Tera, and in the BBR D-League this season, things are a bit different than what we're accustomed to. Instead of having multiple captains who can Tera into 3 different types, we have one Tera captain who can Tera into any type in the game. Hoopa is my type of Pokemon after all. Having a stat that doesn't require investment to be a problem, allowing me to be bulkier or faster if I need it. Hoopa will be our Tera captain to start the season. We followed Hoopa with another physical attacker in the 6th round as we selected Gallade to help alleviate some of the burden that falls onto Ogerpon. Despite not being able to Tera, Gallade still had some fun adds this generation, specifically the new ability Sharpness. Sharpness gives moves like Night Slash, Psycho Cut, and Sacred Sword and other slicing moves a boost in power, and with setup moves like Swords Dance, Bulk Up, and Agility, Gallade offers ways to become a threat. It also has support moves such as Encore, Thunder Wave, Taunt, Trick, and Screens. On this team specifically though, it also gets to use Solar Blade, which is a slicing move, turning it into a base 180 physical move that in the sun is 1 turn. I'm starting to think Gallade will be a lot of fun to use on this team. After all the offense and all the sun support, I figured I needed a Pokemon that can stand the heat a little bit, and one that could help us with our ground weakness. Enter Bronzong. The Steel Psychic type is our 3rd Psychic type in a row, but is very different from the rest. A defensive powerhouse with rocks, screens, and supporting moves, Bronzong has the 2 abilities, but the more important one is Levitate, giving us a ground immune Pokemon. I've used Bronzong in the Charizard Premier League before, and it is certainly a fun Steel type. It could use some recovery options other than leftovers and rest, but I'll still enjoy this Pokemon. On a Sun team, it may be counterproductive for a bit, but maybe that means we get some use out of Heatproof for once. With our 8th pick in the draft, we finish off our Dragon Steel Fairy Core as we select Whimsicott. This silly little guy can be a nuisance with prankster supporting moves like Taunt, Encore, Screens, and more, or it can be a sun-boosted speedster with Chlorophyll, allowing it to put more investment elsewhere, as with no speed investment, Whimsicott is hitting the mid-500s in terms of speed. And with Grass and Fairy, a solid offensive typing, Whimsicott gives us another strong option that benefits from the sun and can see use outside of it. Towards the end of the draft, we faced a dilemma. There weren't many viable hazard removers left. So in an effort to mitigate at least Toxic Spikes a bit, as well as give us another Pokemon who can withstand some fairy moves as well as threaten flying types, we ended up selecting Toxtricity. With a unique signature ability in Punk Rock boosting sound-based moves, and having moves like Boom Burst and Overdrive, which is a stab electric type move with a base 114 special attack, we get to use a really cool Pokemon. Also, it gets Shift Gear, which boosts its middling speed without locking itself into a single move, which makes me believe that Toxtricity, while having a limited moveset, can be used. I can use that moveset excellently this season. And with our last pick, I felt a need to get one of the best checks for Chi-Yu, Douchebon. The fairy type bred dog with its signature ability Well-Baked Body not only gives it a fire type immunity, but sharply boosts its defense, giving Body Press even more damage. Douchebon also offers wish support as well as Baton Pass for momentum and wish passing. Solid speed, good defense. Douchebon does give us the ability to have a defensive wall as well. If a team wishes to use Sun against us, Douchebon will be there to make them rethink that. So there it is, our team this season in the BBR D-League Season 2. A Sun team with a unique twist on some of the Pokemon. I'm very excited to try out Hoopa as a Tera captain, especially being able to use Tera freely, as long as I tell my opponent before the match. And having Pokemon like Walking Wake has been something I really wanted. I got my favorite Ogerpon in Cornerstone. Chi-Yu overheats in the sun, man. Overheats in the sun. Let's talk about it. Can't wait. I cannot wait. We start these uploads next week with our first battle, but I appreciate you guys subscribing. Appreciate you guys liking. If you are here and you are new, welcome. If you are returning, you know what we're in store for. I will see you all next week for our first game against Rose and the Las Vegas Rotoms. Until then, I am Grum, and if no one has said it to you yet today, allow me to be the first one to say it to you. I love you.